all lights. Up. Om Vasudeva Shutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Our salutation to Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons, Kamsa and Chanura, the lovely darling of Mother Devaki, and the teacher of teachers of the world. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we will be reading today on the chapter 7. And it starts here. Here we will be listening that what is Vidura is putting the question and what the sage is talking, whose name is Maitreya, is responding to the questions. Very interestingly, the first verse says that that is how the divine Maya is playing in the universe, how that unchangeable absolute Brahman can become this universe and play in this world, how infinite can be finite, these eternal questions. So he put these questions here. So Sri Shuka Uvacha, Sukadev said, what he said? Shukadev is asking this, responding to the king Parikshit. And that story comes, he remembering the story of Vidura, and Vidura talking to Shukadev, and then Vidura is referring, Vidura also referring another story of Maitreya. So story within story within story. That is the uniqueness of this Bhagavatam. So the very first verse says, chapter 7, Skanda 3, verse 1. As if to please Maitreya, who concluded with the above remark. What was the above remark? The above remark is that the mysterious power of Maya, of the Lord, stupefies the mind of even the greatest yogis. The extent of the power of his yoga Maya cannot be determined by even by himself, God himself. How then could others do? So that was the connection in the last chapter 6, that the mysterious power of Maya, of the Lord, Lord's power, stupefies the mind or mind of an ordinary person, even the greatest yogis. Greatest yogis are also bewildered by seeing this Maya. So what the question of any ordinary people? The extent of power of his yoga Maya, how much it can be and what it can create, what it can destroy, what it can appear, it is beyond the comprehension of ordinary human being. So even yogis cannot measure that. That what the question of ordinary people like ordinary human being. Therefore, salutation to the Lord from whom the words along with the mind fall back. That God who is Satchidananda, who is beyond Mano and Buddhi, Avang Manasu Gocharam, Jato Aprapyo Nivartante, Vachasya Manasasaho, where the speech cannot reach, and but the Jato Aprapyo no Avartanto Vachasya Manasa, mind cannot reach. From that truth, see that is the truth of the Brahman. Salutation to that Brahman, from whom words along with the mind fall back, unable to comprehend. When even the gods, deities presiding over the categories cannot understand. Well, we are ordinary people. The gods was controlling our all sense organs, hand, God of hand, God of eyes, God of ear. So everything, there are different gods and goddesses. If they cannot comprehend what we ordinary people can understand about it. So in that response, it is coming over here. The first verse start that Shukadev saying, as if to please the sage Maitreya, who concluded with the above remark. Above remark means God, the Absolute, by his inscrutable Maya has created this universe. And being created, your mind, your speech cannot touch that. How much you want to express, you cannot express that. How much your mind can think of infinity, your mind cannot reach there. So that's why it is said that the Vidura, the offspring of Vyaso, said the following verses. What he said, Vidura said, O great sage, who is the sage? Maitreya is the name of the sage. Brahman Katang bhavatastinmatraso avikarinaha leelaya chapi jujjera nirgunasya gunakriyaha. Brahman, O great sage, O Brahman, Katham, how can, how, Katham Bhagavat Chinmatrasya Abhikarina. How can the attributes and actions be compatible with the Supreme Being who is of the nature of pure consciousness, changeless and devoid of the three gunas, even if it may be in a sportive sense? You are saying God is Lila. By his sportive nature, he has created this universe. But my question is that how, who is beyond all attributes, gunas, and actions? In Brahman, there is no action. There is no attribute. You cannot say how glorious is he. That can be compatible with the Supreme Being who is of the nature of pure consciousness, who is the nature of changeless and devoid of the three gunas, even it be in a sportive sense. That is the first question. Then third verse, he puts this question. A child can have a natural desire to sport, or it can be induced by others to play. A child can have natural desire to sport. A child, a baby, by his nature, he wants to play. Or someone can give some toy to just enhance his desire to play. But God, why he will play? He has no need. If there is no need, why he will act? Why he will try to be in the world of drama? So a child can have a natural desire to sport, that is understandable, or it can be induced by others to play, that is also okay. In the case of the Lord, being ever self-satisfied, how can there be any desire in him even to play? Why? Why he will play? It is all these people just go for football, soccer, or say cricket or anywhere. So because they find joy. I want to play. I will be famous player. This that something is there. They are wanting something to get name, power. huh? People will applaud me. I will be big athlete. But what for God will do that? Because he's fulfilled by himself. He has no need of anything. So that's why, in case of the Lord, who is ever self-satisfied, is satisfied with him, then how can there be any desire in him even to play? It is play, there is something to get some joy, some get some fame, name, people applaud, meaningful. But God does not need anything. Then why he is playing this way? You say it is Leela. Why he will be playing like that? I don't understand. Please let me know. And pray, how can anyone else induce him? He has no desire of his own. And there is no third party who can influence God to, hey, you have to play. A child can be given a toy. Hey, play now. The child will follow that. But who is there to induce God that you play this lila? Why? Why? Who is there? There is no one. Neither he has his own desire, neither another person can influence him. Therefore, when there is none else beside him, there because there is no one but God, so who can make him play or who can be inspired by his own desire to do something? Fourth verse. Let it be that the Lord creates the world by his power of Maya, constituted with three gunas. Okay, let us assume that the Lord has created the world by his power of Maya, and the Maya means the three gunas, and that by it alone he sustains and dissolves it afterwards. Understand that they is doing this with the three gunas, and then with that power he is um, sustaining the universe, dissolving the universe, all this. The spirit, which is of the nature of unerasable consciousness, but God is what? Brahman is what? The spirit, capital spirit, which is of the nature of unerasable consciousness. That means his consciousness which cannot be erased. Erased means you write something in the pencil and then you erase it. Consciousness is here. You cannot remove the consciousness. There is nothing which can erase the consciousness of the world. God remembering and residing at the back of this whole creation as erasable, unerasable. That means you cannot wipe out consciousnesses anyway. Unerasable space, time, and internal conditions. How can that truth he fall into ignorance? Tell me. Where consciousness, there is no other force to destroy the consciousness. Satchidananda, Brahman. Ah. So if there is no such person to erase that consciousness and erase this space-time and internal condition, then how he, the Lord, can fall into an ignorance? Maya. Why he will be falling in ignorance? Why he will be planning to play? What is the desire? Where it is coming from? Why he will be expecting like that? It is the Bhagavad 6th verse. It is the Bhagavan alone who abides in all bodies as the Jiva, the living spirit. So in all beings, who is here? It's called the God, the Lord, the Bhagavan. How can he, the big God, be subject to loss of bliss and to suffering due to what? And then you see, we are all gods, but then we are always subject to loss of bliss. We have lost our joy, lost our peace inside, and to suffering due to work. We work and we suffer. How can it be that? Because God is all joy, God is all peace, God is all consciousness. Therefore, 7 verse, O learned one, Vidura is saying that to Maitreya, the sage Maitreya. O Lord, learned one, you are very greatly illumined person, learned person. My mind is agitated by this problem of ajnana. I am in ignorance, therefore my mind is getting disturbed to think that God who is all pure, God has no need, God has nothing to do with the playing. He is playing. Why he is playing? And what is the need of his play? Who is forcing him to play? And he has no desire to play. So why this creation is coming? So this is puzzling me. You are the sage of realization. You please tell me what to do. O learned one, my mind is agitated by the problem of ajnana. Deign to eradicate this great doubt of mine. Sri Shuka said, now the Sukadev again saying, being thus questioned by Vidura. Now go back to Parikshit and the king and the Sukadeva. Being thus questioned by Vidura, the inquirer after truth, the sage Maitreya, who was totally devoid of pride, said. So the Maitreya then responded, put this response, reply. What he said, remembering God in his mind, it is not, he has no ego. That's why he prayed to mind, pray, and remembering God, then, and wearing a smile on his face, Maitreya said. Maitreya then responded to the question of Vidura, where Vidura said that this infinite God, who is full of consciousness, who has no need, who has nothing to gain, nothing to lose, why he will be playing in this world of Maya, why it is a, Thakur said it is Leela. So why Leela? Leela is done by people who get joy in playing that Leela. All the theatrical performance, the actors, actresses go. They are like mad people running for these things. Why? They find joy, they need some money, they need some name, fame. I understand that may be the reason. But why? God, who has no desire, who has no need, why he will be engaged in this play of fun and joy? It is not fun. Life, look at the life, individual person, it is God himself, is suffering. And so many, we are all divine, but how much we are suffering, look at our life, miserable life every day. Why this fun? So that is the question. Then Maitreya's response is coming. Ninth verse. Maya, or the mysterious power of the Lord, is indeed that which brings about bondage and misery to the free and lordly spirit against all principle of rational understanding. All principles of rational understanding. We know, we think it is not possible. But this power of Maya, what is Maya? Here Bhagavat says, Sevayam Bhagavato Maya. It is the Maya of Bhagavan. Jannayena viruddhate, which is illogical sometimes. Nyaya means logic. Nyayena viruddhate is the opposite of logic. Because he has given the two logic. One, God has any need, or God can be influenced. No. God has no need, one point. It is the logic. God, if he is God and he needs something, he is no God. And if God does not need, but someone can, I don't need anything, but someone can force me, get it in the gunpoint or in another odd situation. People force them to do what they don't want. Is God subject to that type of manipulation? No. So, being these two logical ideas contradicted in the Leela.
God desires for the love of the devotee.
But that's why that's the desire then.
No?
No. If you say desire, then he is not God. Then he is lacking something. He is lacking. That's why devotees will love me. That's a desire. Whatever.
Yeah, that is why when devotees love him, he falls for that devotee. He
understand, those are in a different level. But logically, you establish God, why he will create.
Because he looks for the love of the devotee.
No, but why he loves? Then when he's not
the
fulfilled, he's not. No, that's a, don't
devotee
go. No, don't go to support that. Please logically talk. If you have no desire and no one can force you to do something, why you will be playing in this world, creating yourself many and then going through the suffering and going for liberation and love? Why you are creating the trouble and creating our love? What is that? Why are you doing that? That is no reason. From the Vedantic perspective, this is no reason.
Yes, it is Bhakti perspective, not Vedanta.
That's why yes, but using the word, trying to understand here. That is the question. You have to respond to the question. The question Maitreya is saying that Maya or the mysterious power of the Lord is indeed that which brings about bondage and misery to the free and lordly spirit against all principle of rational understanding. So, bondage idea, that's also within Maya. See how beautiful. Freedom idea is also under Maya. In the spell of Maya, you think you are bound, you are suffering. So you pray to God, you cry to God, you Vedantic analysis, you meditate, you do selfless work. What do you get it? To get out of bondage, to get freedom. So Maya, in Maya, is two things. It is bondage is also there, and misery, and to free yourself from that. Bondage and freedom, both idea is within Maya. So just as a dream person, giving an example, just as a dream person can have irrational experience of his own head being cut off, the Atman can experience a change of his nature without that change being factual. It's a very good example. In the dream, you are lying down in your bed and you found that there is a bad guy came and they chopped your head out. You can say your head is chopped out in the dream. But in reality, nothing happened. That is the play of Maya. Nothing happened, but it looks like that. Here is the question. To understand the play of God, you are seeing the play, but nothing has happened. It's all the trickery of Maya. So this is the irrational, because you see in the dream that someone is attacking you and they killed you. But you are still breathing. You come out, reality, nothing has happened. But irrationally, that still you see that. That's the point. Just as the movement of the other qualities of water, all seen only in the reflection of the moon in water, just as the movement and other qualities of water are seen only in reflection of the moon. When the moon is reflected in the lake, you can see the moon is moving with the moving of the movement of the ripple. So the movement is found, but that is really it is not happening in the moon. It is reflection in the water. So just as the movement and other qualities of water are seen only in the reflection of the moon in water and not in the moon itself, so also it is only the Atman, the reflected self, that is the self as identified with the body, that is subject to defects of the body. So he's saying the jiva, individual soul, he is getting into the trouble because it is absolutely that Atman, movement of the other qualities of water are seen, though the moon is reflected in the water, that is moving, but moon is not moving. Similarly, the Atman, that is reflected self, that is the self identified with the body, that is subject to defects. So this body, which is a reflection of the real self, there you find this body dying, being born, getting peace and joy or unhappiness or suffering. All these are found there, but not in reality. This defect is gradually removed by the practice of devotion. So, if this defect is with us all, because it is all God's play going on, we are thinking, we are suffering, we are in pain. That because as in the dream we are seeing that we are suffering, we are in pain, we are happy, we are unhappy. But in reality, you are just untouched by anything. But you see and experience them. Similarly, this Atman, the reflected self, that is, the self as identified with the body, that is subject to the defects of the body. So this is the defects of the body. This body's defect is seem to be real, but it is real body, real Atman is untouched. This defect is gradually removed. Now, how the defects can be removed? He said this defect can be removed gradually. How? By the practice of devotion. You do practice of devotion, and by the dedication of all of one's action to God, and by the grace of Vasudeva, the soul of all souls. So, how to get out of this? Three paths he has mentioned. The defect is gradually, it will not go away because this misconception has grown for a long time. So, by defect gradually removed by practice of devotion. If everyone prays to God, cries before God, and surrenders to God, by dedication of all one action, all the karma is given up. Come, sit. So, the defect is gradually removed by the practice, by the dedication of all one's action to God. You do all karma and then offer that all karma at the feet of the Lord. So, by meditation, by prayer, by karma. See, Bhagavatam also talks about the harmony of all the spiritual practices, yoga, four yogas. So the defect, that defect which makes the idea that this is born and this is going to suffering and pleasure and pain, can be removed by this process. That the defect is gradually removed. Point one, by practice of devotion, that is one. By dedication of all one's action to God, nishkama karma, and by the grace of the Lord, the soul of all souls. You may try how much, but your effort is not sufficient. God's grace is necessary. God's grace will release the person from all bondage. When the powers of the mind and body get concentrated and absorbed in the Supreme Being, Sri Hari, who is the seer in all bodies, then all miseries felt hitherto by one will cease as if in deep sleep. No? They are giving, we are suffering, we are in difficulties. But when the powers of the mind and body gets concentrated and absorbed in supreme being, body is body. When the mind is withdrawn from the body and the mind is put in the concentrated focus in God and God alone, as the yogis are doing, as when the meditators are trying to do, withdrawing the mind from all external and putting the mind in God only. If they can do, who is the seer and who is that God on which you put your mind? He is the seer, indweller, drashta in everyone's heart. God is the witness in the heart of all. We say that whatever you do, you can hide from other people, but you cannot hide from God. God is seated there and observing everything. You cannot hide anything from him. So that is the His consciousness residing in the heart. If one is fortunate person can withdraw all his mental disturbances and focus it and put it into that Lord who is inside God, then what will happen? Then all miseries which are feeling every day in life, all miseries felt hitherto by one will cease. How it will cease? Well, as you experience every day. When you go to deep sleep, what happens? All your miseries, all your sufferings, all your anxieties, where do they go? They disappear from you. As it happens every day, by meditation, you can do that. That's why you become a yogi. That's why you become a master. People experience this every day when they go to deep sleep. That's why people have great anxiety. They take sometimes some pill to have a good sleep. They take some so that they can sleep. When you go to sleep, then your mind is absent. And mind, because mind goes to sleep, the world goes to sleep. There is no world. There is no anxiety. There is no fear. There is no death. There is no suffering. That's why everyone finds so much joy in the deep sleep. A cat, a dog, an animal, a human, a subhuman. Everyone finds great joy because that is the time when mind not being there, the worldly all disturbances are gone from the mind. Even the hearing of the excellences of theory is capable of assuaging the miseries of life. If we listen to the holy stories of the life of the Lord, say Krishna, Krishna Katha, Hari Katha, Ram Katha, uh, when you Sant Katha, uh, when you listen to those things, what will happen? It will spontaneously purify the mind. Mind will go into the state where misery will not start. Look at that. When you go to listen to in India, here we are only 4 people, but there you go, 10,000 people sitting in a Harikatha. Uh, Huge gathering. Oh, when you are talking about, they are talking about the Lord's glories, people forget their home, forget their business, forget their anxieties, worries, everything is gone. Mind is lifted into the storytelling, life stories of life's experiences. So that is the way to withdraw the mind from external, and you can really raise by Harikatha, the listening to the glories of the Lord, one can reach that point. That's why even the hearing of the excellence of theory is capable of assuaging the miseries of life. That's why it is very important to listen to, say, Harikatha, where there is God and His description. Don't lose that chance because mind will be getting the benefit of purification as also calmness, serenity will come. It makes us forget about the world. Uh, how to forget the world's suffering and misery? You engage the mind in something else. A simple example: when the child, suppose suddenly he has fall down and he is in pain, and when he is acutely in pain, the child will cry, mercilessly cry. But if you bring a toy or something and hey, look at this, hey, how it is doing that, and the child will, huh? And forgets the pain. So this is possible. Similarly, when one wants to get out of the suffering and miseries of life, they should go to Harikatha. That's why nowadays available on YouTube. You go so many wonderful talks, lectures. What you want to hear? Bhakti. You can have bhakti. You can have jnana. You can have this yoga, Kundalini yoga, yoga to ocean yoga, and then beach yoga. So whatever you want to hear, you can find in the online. Nah? And you listen according to a test. Then you forget the other things of life. So problem of our life can be solved by lifting the mind from this ordinary consciousness into something higher. And if you can do it when they put the mind in some lofty thought with the lila, read the gospel of Ramakrishna, read even the Bible, beautiful, Bhagavat, the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads. this life of the saints. Read the Prachin Sadhuder Katha, the stories of the old Swamis. Or you read any. There was one Bengali writer. He wrote about lives of the sadhus of the Himalayas, and
He was the great Himalayan master, Swami Ram.
Ram Tirtha, no? Yeah. So read those books. You see, at least you are not illumined, but your mind is not in this plane. It can take you to a beautiful realm of purity. So that's why he said, even the hearing of the excellences of Sri Hari is capable of assuaging the miseries of life. Then what to speak of the state of a man who has attained to the state of loving devotion to and delighted in it? Suppose if one has grown love for God and attain a state of devotion to God and delight in Him. Delight in Him means when they hear, they enjoy it. Unless the mind is pure, this type of words will not please anyone. If you give that like that, even the story of Ramakrishna, that lady who has the flower garden, he gave, she the host, gave shelter to the lady carrying the fish basket. The fish basket lady could not sleep and enjoy the flower environment. Yeah, because he's not familiar. That's why how many people listen, how many things are going on in the world, how many people listen to that? And what is the population of the world? See, we are giving class. Look at that. Who feels interest in it? What is the need? Yeah, what is going on? We all know. Well, this Brahman, Atman, this, that, pure, impure, that. We have had enough.
But some people they listen to music, sing music, or some people solve even mathematical problem. That brings a joy a lot of.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's it. Much better than for suffering in the world and worldly situation with the mathematical solution, playing some
That's
chase.
for fun. Yeah.
Fun. But purity of the heart will come by listening to the holy lives and holy talks, holy scriptures, and keeping the mind in some uplifted radium. So now Bidura said, O great one, like a sword, your words have cut asunder the tree of my doubt. Verse number 15. Sanchinna sangshayo majyam tabo shukta sinu vivo. By your words, it is like a sword. My doubts are now cut asunder. My mind is now well established in the understanding of both the nature of Ishvara and Jiva. Ishvara is playing, and Jiva is the reflected moon, and reflected moon there is suffering. If the water gets violent, then this moon which is reflected, it splits into pieces. But nothing happened to the moon which is shining there all the time. The Atman remains unchanged. But here we are get shattered by someone telling me something ugly. Someone is blaming me for something. I am done, lost, I am done. And we are shattered here because we are taking this as the reality. But then not that reality. It has been well stated by you that the cause of the world lies in Maya, the mysterious power of Lord. What is Maya? Vedantic Maya is one, but Maya in Bhakti, it is his play. The Lord is playing in this diverse ways. So, in this Maya means mysterious play of God, mysterious power. That is the power of Lord. Apart from the Lord, it has no independent existence. Maya cannot exist without God. That's why you call Shakta philosophy comes Shakti and Shaktiman. Brahman and Shakti. Shakti cannot function without Brahman. Hmm? But Brahman can remain sometimes without Shakti manifested. Potentially, Shakti should be there. It's not manifested sometimes, but sometimes it may manifest. When it manifests, it is the world. When it does not, then it is called Brahman. So he says that here, Maitreya is saying, apart from the Lord, it has no independent existence, and apart from God, Him, it cannot be understood at all. So you do, unless you realize God, you cannot understand Maya. Being in Maya, you cannot understand Maya's play. Suppose you are dreaming, think of yourself. Nighttime you are dreaming. And now you saw a tiger is chasing you. And you are running, and tiger is almost catching you now. And your dream breaks. This tiger, if you analyze whole life in the dream, why did tiger attacking me? I didn't go to any place. I was in Hollywood. Where the tiger came from? You cannot find any solution there. You have to wake up. When you wake up, then you say, oh, it was a dream. I was seeing the tiger. But it is not dream tiger, not the real tiger. So similarly here also, this will be understood when we wake up from this dream play. This is a dream, and it is so real to us because as we feel in our dream time so real, everything is real. Hunger is hunger, thirst is thirst, fear is fear, joy is joy, suffering is suffering. But really, anything happening? No, you are lying down, your body is lying down very peacefully. It is snoring. It may have a CPAP machine working on your nose, and you are very happily sleeping. But all these things are happening. Why? How it will go? You may cry in the dream. Oh, who is there to rescue you? No one will rescue. No one is. Why did it happen? I didn't do anything wrong in my life, and in a dream body, I didn't do anything harm, and they are attacking me. Yes, you cannot find any solution. Only you wake up from the dream. Then you say, oh, it was dream. It was my mind created all this fun for my joy. But the joy has become a cause of suffering. What was joy one time, that has become a cause of suffering. So similarly, this drama, this Maya, the play of God's power manifested, will we don't find any right and reason. Look at the world. Bad people are getting all the benefits of the worldly enjoyment. No, good people, even having little something, they have been stolen, they have been cheated, they have been troubled. No, what is the meaning? Why God has created this nonsense world? You cannot find any meaning. This is also a big dream. Break this dream by thinking of God. Huh? That's why that is the only source where we can be free. Those who are given absolutely anarchy, it has been well stated by you that the cause of the world lies in Maya, the mysterious power of the Lord. Apart from the Lord, it has no independent existence. And apart from God, Lord, it cannot be understood at all. You want to understand this power? Then you go. Ramakrishna said, you go and make friendship with the magician. Magician's magic is going on, and thousands of people watching that magic are being befooled. But you want to do that, you have to think that make friendship with the magician, God. God is the magician. It is God's magic play going on. So you make friendship with God, love God, pray to God, unite with God. Then you will find a magician will show you the trick, how this creation is being done. So know God. Simple thing, know God, love God. Then this Maya will have no effect and you will find freedom from this. Those who are given absolutely to physical life, say worldly people, they don't understand anything. Charbaka philosophy. They only say this body is the only thing, this life is the only thing. Eat, drink, be merry. Don't think about anything right or wrong. Kill, butcher, steal, whatever you like. Huh? Enjoy life. It is one lifetime. But what is there after life? After life, it is all false thing told by some fools. You call the sages. No? So don't believe in them. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. That's the people. Those who are given absolutely to the physical life and they do not think of anything higher. And those who have gone beyond the buddhi and obtained intuitive understanding, both of these people are happy because because they are incapable of any doubt, and the second because they have no attachments. So who is the happiest person in the world? One person who does not think of anything, just enjoy the life, eh, and try to find what you can, even lie, cheat, whatever. So they have no other problem. They think this is the life and they will be happy.
They don't find peace.
That is the later on they will understand. But still, do you find that how they can stop their evil tendencies? They do it more. And the person whose mind is gone beyond all this level of duality, he is in perfect peace because he does not care for this changeable thing. Both are happy. The sufferers are those who are the suffering people. An idiot cannot understand, a stone cannot understand suffering, or a piece of wood cannot understand suffering, and a Brahmogyan cannot understand suffering. The trouble is for us who are in between, not attain that illumination, not we are like that idiot, like stone and rocks, and enjoy the life. Only this is the only life, and be into it. There is nothing after death. The sufferers are those who stand in between the extremes. So, just mudhatamo loke, eh, those are simple language. Jara jagati mudha, boka. All those who are mudha, tamo, worst of the mudha, dullest of the dull in the world. Just buddhe parangataha, those who have crossed buddhi paraha, beyond your intellect. All analysis, and analysis you do, and you cannot reach that. It's so big, your mind cannot catch it. So those are that people who stand in between of these two extremes. They are the worst sufferers. Though objects contrary to the Atman are experienced, we shall discern their hollowness through discrimination and with the help of your worship, and thus renounce them completely. So, though the objects are contrary to Atman, the worldly objects we see, they are not divine to our eyes, or we cannot experience their divinity. We shall discern their hollowness through discrimination. We can see, analyze the world, which is permanent, which is not permanent. Analyzing this, and which is impermanent, throw away, throw away. That's path of knowledge. And with the help of your worship, alone discrimination will not do. We need to grow in love for God. That is called the worship of God. And thus renounce them completely. So love God, try determine what is good and bad, what is permanent, what is impermanent. And after that, love God so much, other things drop away. By the worship of the devotee, I shall attain to the state of intense delight and attachment to the feet of Him, the Lord of all, and the changeless being. So, what I shall do? By the worship of devotees, I will try to serve the devotees who are lovers of God. By the worship of devotees, I shall attain to the state of intense delight and attachment. If we really engage in serving the devotees in a proper attitude, that is serving God's children, if that spirit comes, your mind becomes pure and God's grace comes. Versus someone comes and you think it is a torture. Oh, am I to give a glass of water again? Oh my God, again I am to cook a meal again. Huh? But if you take the same thing with love and think that I am serving God's children, that's the point. I shall worship of the devotees. Worship of the devotees means not go and put flower at the feet of the devotees. Devotees are who? Lovers of God. If you serve the lovers of God, those who love God, you serve them, then what will happen? I shall attain to the state, a mental state, intense delight. I will attain that intense delight in God and attachment to the Lord. By that love, it will lead me to God Himself because I am serving not the man, not the women, but God in that women. Thinking in this way and serving them, my mind will be purified and I will reach God there. The Lord of all the Lord who is the Lord of all the changeless being. By means of such attachment to the Lord, all sorrows are overcome. You want to overcome all sorrows of life, you take this process. Serve the children of God, thinking that you are serving God. Very important point. That's the Ramakrishna Mission take this ideology, Ji Shiva Gyane Jiva Shiva. Don't Jiva, you are seeing individual, but they are not Jiva. It is Lord Shiva in the form of Jiva. So if you worship Shiva, if you worship Jiva, then you will be suffering. You do something, some service, and that person will be, hey, what did you do? This is not good. That's bad. You may get a scolding also. But if you think, I don't care for that, I did for the Lord. What he says or she says, it is his mind is expressing that I am not serving that man with the mind which is disturbed mind, but I am serving who is behind his mind. That means the God I am serving. So if that attitude comes, then it creates love for God more.
Whereas normally people's mind is not that high, and you try to do that to undeserving person, and then they holler at you, insult you, and you are hurt. So that's not serving.
So that heart means our expectation and our not correct idea. People will say, we will have to understand. They will say the same thing. But I am not serving that man who will say, and I am serving God who is behind him as consciousness, as Satchidananda. So this idea, there it matters little. What the man says, you serve undesirable person. Their undesirable person is not my focus. I am serving who is standing behind the undesirable person. Behind the dacoit, Muslim dacoit, Amzad, mother served that person who is standing behind the Amzad. So that is the state of service. That means don't look at the person at all. Person will do that because what they will do, they are all selfish, and you cannot satisfy anyone. But if you look at that, who is standing behind them? That is the Lord is standing behind. So I am serving that Lord. So this is the attitude, our all the philosophy, to see that divine behind everything. The service of holy men devoted to Mahavishnu, AJ. That's why, as you said, we should serve first the holy people who are worshipping God, lovers of God. First serve them. They are good people, they will bless you. But don't go to the dacoit. Don't go to the person who is evil character. That will come, maturity will come much later. Swami Vivekananda said, when as a young man, I could not walk on the same sidewalk or footpath where there is a theatrical hall. What the question of see the pure level of purity. And he said, now I can sleep in the same house with the fallen ladies without least reaction in my mind. Because he has raised into such a concept. There is nothing but God. And in Vivekananda's life, those are proven. In Cairo, when he was moving, he faced the ladies who were ugly dressed and calling her. And he went and he was in tears. And he said, oh, they do not know their divine mother themselves. And for little money or little something, where they have pulled them down. And he felt this suffering and they cried. And the ladies, these prostitutes, started touching the gown of Vivekananda and saying, Lord Christ has come before us. So that's it. But we need not have to dare to go there. You start here, where there are good people, who are honest people, who are lovers of God, serve them. And with this idea, I'm serving not these people, but they're the bhakta. There is a word, je bhakta nam api je bhakta. Bhakta nam api je bhakta. Those who are the bhakta, devotee of the bhaktas. That is, I am offering that Lord. So that should be the starting point.
Maharaj, that shows that everybody can learn from everybody. Even a person like Vivekananda got that lesson from a singing girl.
Mm, yeah. Not that they are always tuned, but sometimes they forget. Even they are forgetful. The service of holy men devoted to Mahavishnu is indeed difficult to get from those devoid of great austerities to the credit. The service of holy men who are devoted to Mahavishnu is indeed difficult to get. Such devotees, to find such holy people is it is only comes in life who are have good karmas. They have done much austerity, tapas in the last life. So it says, Durapa hi alpa tapasa seva vaikuntha vartmasi jatrupo giyate nittam deva devo janardana. It is only the company of such holy men that you hear constantly about the Lord and His excellence. So only by listening to God and His glories continuously, one person can be made free from all this ignorance and bondage. So we end here and we'll read the verse number 21 next time. Chapter 7, book 3, 3.7.21 we'll read. We have done up to 20, 1 to 20. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Okay, there is a question. How do we know the love and joy we feel while worshipping and learning about God is not mere worldly, subtle body type emotions, or the positive emotions we feel while worshipping Maya? How do we know the love and joy we feel while worshipping and learning about God is not mere worldly, subtle body type of emotion? Yes, all emotions are subtle body. Emotions in the mind. Emotion does not happen in the body or in the nose or in the throat or the ear. No, all emotions are in the mental level. Yes, we know when genuine emotion comes, then your mind will be soothed, your tears will be rolling down this way. Tears coming this way versus this way has a meaning. It is called this when we cry for worldly things, your tears comes to the nose side. And when tears come to this side, you are growing spirituality. Your love for God is developing. So when you learning about God is not merely worldly. Yeah, it is. It will start with worldly type of thing, but you will find that when you actually you love God and the joy, it stays for a longer time. One sign, it stays for a longer time. Two, it brings instant peace. Third point, it you remember this experience after several days. You'll feel a taste of joy. But anything sensate, good food, good place you went and have some photos, it may bring frustration. Yesterday was a sumptuous meal, and today's meal is bland. It's not eatable at all. Yesterday's food was good, but today thinking of that food, today's food, I am going to suffer. It's not good. Why did he create this type of food? No? And this experience brings frustration. Whereas the other experience, you have a good meditation, good prayer, you have worshipped God with proper attitude, you feel a joy in your heart, and that joy you remember, it uplifts you and it puts you down. So I think that these are the three ways of understanding that what the joy, love, and joy you feel while worshipping. As the mind becomes pure, then you find finer and finer joy and greater peace. And the lingering effect of that continues even after 10 days. See, many people say, oh, I had a life transforming experience. When it happened? In the whole lifetime, maybe one day at a particular few seconds. That impact is such, people remembering after 5 years, they say, oh, that was a lifetime. And you see, when he or she speaks that, the mind face shines with joy. Where do you get it? That is the spiritual joy. That is the way of loving. Really, we have got the real, genuine love and joy for God. And when we think of the mundane, worldly thing of the past, which was happy, which was peaceful, and compared to today, it is not. It makes me depressed. You have one time good money, few millions, and that is lost. And you come down to, say, several hundred thousands. What will happen? Do you feel elated? You feel depressed. But if you have great joy in meditation or going to a silence or doing some retreat or praying, suddenly something has happened. You remember afterwards, it puts you up. I think these are the two ideas. And how to create or the positive emotions are feel while worshipping Maya. No, it is Maya. In Vedantic term, it is Maya. Anything you see duality, that is Maya. You are worshipping means you are there, worshipper is there, worshipping action is there, and you are expecting joy. So this is Maya. But there is Vidya Maya, there is Avidya Maya. Avidya Maya, which drags us down to world and worldliness, and Vidya Maya, which takes us from worldliness to spirituality and divinity. So these are both Maya. But if you say Maya, range of Maya is there, lower level of manifestation, tamas expression, rajas expression, sattvika expression. So both are Maya, but it is helpful Maya to practice worship, etc. Okay. So thank you all. So hope to see you again. Then what time? At 7:30
Oh, actually, one question that
in the Santi Gita class.
one more question has come. Just one second.
Secure.
1 second. I'm just making the format bigger.
So another question is there. Okay. Anyone from here? Any question? Yeah.
I have a very good question. It's kind of personal, I don't mind. What is, basically, I frankly don't have anything. Nothing. No education, no money, no nothing. Yet I'm not afraid.
Huh?
Yet I'm not afraid that what's going to happen to me, who will take care of me.
Hmm.
The thought never occurs. I'm kind of somehow uh, feel secured. Yet I have nothing.
Secured. That because that's a good idea. You feel secured because security idea comes from internal conviction that somebody is taking care of me.
Nobody is taking care of
The internal conviction comes, somebody means here God. In security comes from where? If anything happens, my son will look after. If anything happens, monetarily he will support me. If anything happens, that. But when you depend on God and you are convinced that some God is there to take care of me, you don't care who will take care of your son is coming or husband is coming or a friend is coming or not coming. I don't care. I know only God will take care. So you become free. Then you
That's
become
good.
freedom, of course. Yes. So another question: in lives of the great bhaktas, we see that even after reaching God, they feel the need to practice bhakti. And then is it safe to say that in the practice of bhakti they get more bliss than in even reaching God? Yes, you know what happens? In lives of great bhaktas, we see that even after reaching God, they feel the need to practice bhakti. Meaning what? If you find taste in God, what will you do? You will always try to engage yourself in that bliss. So that will be, and you do every day what happens? Look at our life. Every day you create a taste for anything. Third day, fourth day, fifth day, you don't want it, but your inner urge will be there to have that taste. So if you really practice spiritual discipline and prayer, and you find little joy and you get inclination, that joy and inclination will force you as a samskara, as in a worldly sense, in a spiritual life also same. Moreover, what they will live with, a bhakta, Thakur Ramakrishna, after attaining that state of perfection and everything, what he's doing? Oh, because I've realized God, it is like that. I have got my PhD degree in chemistry or physics or something. I don't talk about physics anymore, no? Or I'll find more interest in physics because I have generated my tendency and taste for that thing so much. I find delight in it because I am penetrating into the depth of it. A bhakta finds by loving God, finds tremendous peace and joy. And that joy and peace takes them to inner life more and more peace and more joy and more. And as it goes on more and more and more, then what happens? Their samskara, new samskara is created. And as a result, they will not find joy in any other thing but thinking of God. We have seen meditators, those who do good meditation. Swami Vivekananda. He left to himself, he will be only sitting for meditation. But other things come and disturb. Suppose you will find that someday your mood is very good, you are meditating, and some work comes. How do you feel? Eh, again, I have to get out of this and go to do work. No? That means that is a good moment in your life that you have a tendency have come for God and you find inner joy. All our joys are dependent joys with food, with object of senses. But that is trifling though. But still, it has this attraction. But when the joy goes due to their meditation or absorption in the Lord who is within, that is a different thing. Huh? That is a different thing that peace comes more. And when you get a little taste of that peace, you will be dragged into it. Ramakrishna said it is a magic mountain, a magnet mountain. the ship goes by, it will be attracted to that, and all the nuts and bolts will be loosened. That means you cannot think, I will do this. That freedom will go away. So that we find in Ramakrishna's life. So it is safe to say, in the practice of bhakti, get more bliss. Because as they practice this, they go to a state when the mind will be attracted to God, and they don't like anything then. As it happens, no, human love, when what you call the romantic love, when they start with romantic love, uh, you see someone wants to talk to them, they feel irritated. Why are you coming over here now? A phone call comes, that becomes an irritation. Any person, it is the experience of worldly experience. So if it happens with God also, think that how intense will be that irritation. Uh, they don't want. Ramakrishna said, Mother, my ears are now getting burned by listening to the worldly talks. Please send someone to whom I can talk freely. So that is the inner urge will come that way. Okay? Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. We'll see you in 7:30.